guys, welcome to Thriving Nuggets YouTube channel with me, Anjoroge. In this channel, I share nuggets on how to thrive in your career, in personal development, and most recently, I am sharing about my postgraduate degree journey. Studying in the UK for my master's on a fully funded scholarship. I am a Shivning Scholar 2024-2025. And I think before you even go into saying, oh, now I want to get a scholarship, I think the first question should be, should you be getting a master's in the first place? Which is an interesting question I asked myself midway my scholarship applications. Had just gotten into, like, I had gotten an interview invite for Shivning, had also done my interview for the Mastercard Foundation scholarship, and so it sort of felt like, this should be a question that I asked before. Although, like, looking back, I think my reasons were valid, but it was more a moment where I started reevaluating, what does it really mean? What's the value that I want to get out of this master's? Is it worth it for me to do this, to make this leap and make certain sacrifices that I needed to make? And and then when I shared about me getting into the scholarship, I had people asking me, oh, I need to do a master's, I actually want to do a master's before I get married and all that. And I remember having such a conversation and being like, I think you need to explore whether you're really doing it for yourself. There's someone saying, oh, because my dad said I need to do it. Whether you're doing for yourself, but also at the same time, it's such a time investment. Like, you use so much time that goes into this. The amount of studying, the amount of, and I'm going to talk about the reality of doing a master's abroad. What does it look like? The amount of time, the amount of money that is going to be used. Of course, you'll be on a fully funded scholarship, but there's a lot of money investment that is done here. You don't also want to do it just for the wrong reasons and for you to have wasted off your year into something that you do want to do, but you're doing it to just tick a box. I think that, but if that's like your cup of tea, go ahead. But for me, my perspective is it doesn't really make sense. And another thing is that people have different journeys. I think understanding that, and it's something that I have been learning even as we think about career conversations or personal development journeys. Everyone has their own path, and your path may not, like the road you're going to, it might not be necessary for you to get a master's. And making peace with that, not even making peace with that, but being okay with that, really, being okay with that, and being very true to your own journey, and just putting your head down and saying, this is my journey and going. And something that I have had to grow into, and most recently being okay with, first of all, even like taking a very non-traditional route when it comes to my legal career, and being okay with that. And I have seen the beauty of that. I have seen how this really aligns with who I am and who God wants me to be and all those things. So being very okay with that. And so it is important to think about, where do I want to be? What career path do I want to be? Or I want to do this particular career path. Does a master's matter for me to get into these spaces I want to get into? If it does matter, then that's a reason to get a master's. But if it doesn't matter, what matters? For some people, it's getting additional certifications, it's getting professional certifications, and that will get you to where you need to be. So doing that and working towards that, and knowing, because my journey is unique, I may need different tools from other people, and being completely okay with that is so important. And then the other thing is that when you do a master's, it can be two things. And actually, I didn't think about it this way until I came here and realized. Initially, I had said, oh, I'm coming to do this master's, and it's going to help me specialize and narrow down. And yes, my master's is helping me to specialize and narrow down in a specific area. But another thing that my master's is doing, because my master's is very interdisciplinary, it's also widening the horizon for me, and it's widening the scope for me. So I am a lawyer, but I'm doing an energy transition course that cuts across very technical subjects on energy, but also cuts across a lot of things to do with finance and economics, a lot to do with politics. And so then the spaces in which I can fit, in addition to my law degree, have widened. So that's also another way to think about it. I didn't think about it until I was here. And actually this year, that's when I thought about it. I was like, oh yeah, there's this space, there's this other space. And because now I understand the politics, now I understand the finance and economics, now I understand the technical aspects of it, there are spaces, then it also widens the horizon for you. And I was having a conversation with a former schoolmate of mine in law school, and he was telling me about how, like, for instance, for lawyers, if you're going to do a master's in law, it will be really, I feel, but this is my personal opinion again, but it will be such a disservice to go and do a master's that just regurgitates what you are doing in law school. So a master's that goes and you're doing contract all over again, or you're doing certain forms of law that you had already discussed and there's nothing new to it. It doesn't add, or you're doing things that you ordinarily have gained skills in already by your day-to-day professional job. So I think also choosing a master's where you were seeing there's a skill gap. So for me, I knew I was doing a lot of advocacy in the environmental and climate justice space, but I understood the human rights lens of it, but there was an understanding that I lacked in terms of the politics that were informing these policies, but also at the same time understanding what are the workings of these energy systems, so that when I'm proposing this, it's coming from such a point of knowledge. So because of that skill gap, then this suited me in that way. So I wasn't going ahead, and I'm not even, as I choose my modules, and we're going to talk about this in later videos, but as I was even choosing my modules, I was very keen to choose modules that were filling that gap, but also that were not like, oh, I know how to do this, I've done this before, I'm just doing it just for the sake of doing it. But there was an add-on that I am seeing in it because there's that skill gap. And so it can help you widen your horizon. It can also help you specialize and get in. And the more you're able to specialize, the more you can become a thought leader, the more you can be able to go deep into something and know something completely, which is very important, I think, which is super important. Then it can be a pivoting effort. You could be in a workplace where for you to get into the next grade of salary, you need a master's, so you're pivoting, or you want to, it can be a pivot from one career to another career. I have seen people do that even with shivling. So you're in this career, but you want to move to this career, and then it helps you make that jump. So it can be that, and I think that's a good reason. It could be like you want to increase your earning capacity, but actually when I was writing my notes, I put just an asterisk on that, because it's not it is not automatic that because you have done this master's in this particular university, then your income is going to increase. There are so many factors, and I'm going to talk about them. So first of all, how you end up approaching that year when you're abroad is going to be very important, and not having that mindset of, oh, I have reached nimefika, I have reached now, there's no much more that is required of you. There's much more that is required to you. You've been given an opportunity. It's how you make good use of it to be able to position yourself for these opportunities that you want to get positioned for. So it's not automatic in that sense. There's also additional work. The same effort that you are putting in to get in, it's the same effort that it also needs to sustain you. The way we say as believers, even in prayer, like the same prayers you prayed to get in are the same prayers that you need to be able to sustain you in the long haul, which is important. So there's that. It's really important for you to think through, is it going to add my career prospects, so that you manage your expectations. It's not that because you're not sure and all that, then you shouldn't do a master's, but it's a way of managing your own expectations. And then it could be a career break. Honestly, it could be, there's nothing deep to it. I just want a career break. I just want to go abroad and just take a breather. That's okay. And there's no reason that is invalid, actually. But I'm just saying the different ways you may think about, even as you're thinking about what to specialize in. But if you're thinking, oh, is this wise? Is this not wise? But also, like, I would say what I was told by one of the program officer for MasterCard when I was declining the scholarship, and she said there's no wrong and there's no black and white, there's no wrong or right answer, there's no right or wrong way. It's your own particular journey, and I'm going to insist that. So even as I share these reasons, it's just to expand your thinking and to help you even as you go to analyze what's the next step you're taking to the career, whether the master's is in the horizon, what does it look like, what are the expectations you should have, but also be aware of the trade-offs. If you have responsibilities back at home, how to manage that. If you have relationships, back home and all that, how to manage that, and the trade-offs that come with it, but also being also keen to prioritize your own personal growth up and above everything, right? Yeah, so that's it. It's going to be a pretty short video. I hope it's insightful. This is the kind of video I wish I had that time, just to hear, not to for it to help me make a decision, but to also expand my thinking. And these are the reasons. The more I was thinking through what path to take, like this is one of the some of the things that came to mind, and I was like, I really want to share this when I cross to the other end, and that's why I'm sharing it. So yeah, I have other videos too, maybe other videos on my postgraduate degree journey. Feel free to watch that, the career options series, and other pieces of content on this channel. If this is the kind of content that you would like, kindly subscribe. And also you can follow me on Instagram, anjoroge.ke, also on TikTok, anjoroge_ke, something like that. I'll put it here. And also you can email me, mumbinjoroge32@gmail.com, in case you have any question, or if you would like even a one-on-one to explore something, or to explore this decision with you. This is something that I'm actually taking up. Actually, this week I have like two people that I'm doing that for, and I'm like, could this be a thing? But anyway, feel free. It's open. As time allows, I'm going to be able to do that. So yeah, that's it from me, and until next time, bye bye.